I still remember the way my father looked at me that night. Not like his daughter, but like a stranger who had just betrayed the entire bloodline. "I raised you better than this, Emily," he snapped, his face flushed with fury. "You don't air family business like dirty laundry." But it wasn't gossip. It was the truth. A truth that had lived inside my bones for years, rotting me from the inside out. And when I finally spoke it, when I dared to tell the truth about what Uncle Craig did to my cousin Melissa when we were kids, they didn't thank me. They erased me. My mother wouldn't look at me. My older brother Josh told me I was selfish. My aunt screamed that I was destroying the family. So, they did what they've always done when someone makes them uncomfortable. They cut me out. No calls. No texts. No happy birthday. Just silence.
Cold. Clean.
Have you ever been disowned for telling the truth? Comment below if you've ever been shunned just for standing up for what's right. I was born in a town where secrets were as common as Sunday church sermons, and family came first, even when it hurt. The Walkers were known in Pinehurst, South Carolina.
People waved when my dad drove by.
My mom made peach cobbler for church picnics. And Uncle Craig? He was the cool uncle, always flashing that crooked grin and handing us dollar bills when Mom wasn't looking. Growing up, Melissa and I were inseparable. She was quieter than me, always watching people, always thinking. And I asked too many questions. That's what Mom used to say. But I loved our family. I loved the chaos of it. The football Sundays, the smell of Dad's aftershave in the hallway, the way Mom used to hum Patsy Cline while folding towels. I didn't know there were cracks in the picture. Emily. It was subtle at first. Melissa started pulling away around 12. She'd avoid family sleepovers, didn't want to hug Uncle Craig, and sometimes she'd cry in my room for no reason. When I asked her once, just once, what was wrong, she said, "If I tell, no one will believe me." I wish I had understood then. But I was a kid. And kids are trained to keep the peace, not question the powerful. Especially when the powerful wear a badge. Emily. My brother Josh was the golden boy. All-state quarterback, full ride to Georgia Tech, Dad's pride.
Me?
I was the invisible one. I wrote stories. I stayed up late reading under the covers. I volunteered for things nobody noticed. And whenever I tried to ask why Melissa missed another Christmas, or why Uncle Craig gave me that strange smile sometimes, Mom would shut it down. "Emily, don't ruin the holiday. That girl's just dramatic. You always have to make everything complicated." Emily. After college, I moved to Colorado and started freelancing. Melissa and I lost touch for a while. But something always felt unfinished, like I'd left her behind when she needed me the most. Then last year, I got a call from her. She was crying,
her voice shaking.
She finally told me what happened, what he did, all those years ago. And she told me no one believed her. Not her dad. Not my parents. Not even Josh. But I believed her. Because I remembered the look in her eyes all those years ago. I remembered the silence that followed every question. And I remembered what it felt like to be told to stay quiet. Emily.
So I wrote about it.
Not names, not dates. But the truth. I thought maybe, just maybe, they would reach out. That they'd finally say, "Thank you for standing by her." But they didn't. They accused me of betrayal. They called it family defamation. Dad sent one message. "Take that post down before you destroy what's left of this family." And just like that, I was the villain for telling the truth.
Emily.
After I published the article, I flew home that weekend. I thought maybe, just maybe, they'd be willing to talk about it. I didn't come to fight. I came to speak. But the air inside that house was different now. Cold. Like winter had moved into the walls. "Carol, Mother. Put that on the counter," she said, not meeting my eyes. "Dinner's almost ready." Thomas, Father. "So, you're a writer now?" His voice was sharp. No warmth. Emily. "I've always been a writer, Dad." Josh, brother. "You know what he means. That post you made, really classy, Emily. "I didn't use anyone's name." Carol. "You didn't have to. You made us all look like monsters." Emily stares at her plate. The food smells good, but her appetite is gone. Emily. No one asked how Melissa was doing. No one even said her name. It was like she never existed. Flashback. Christmas Eve, a few years earlier. Emily and Melissa on the porch, both wrapped in blankets. Melissa, 14 years old. They pretend he's a hero. You know what he is, Em. Her eyes were swollen from crying. Her hands trembled. If I disappear, will anyone even care? Present-day Emily closes her eyes, trying not to cry.
Emily.
I should have spoken sooner. I should have asked harder questions. But now that I finally did, they wanted me gone. Emily walking into town. She runs into Mrs. Redding, her old neighbor. Mrs. Redding. Emily, sweetheart. I read your little article. Quite the imagination you've got. Emily. It's not fiction, Mrs. Redding. Mrs. Redding whispers. I know what Craig was like. But still stirring things up like that. Emily walks away, heart pounding. Emily. Even the people who knew the truth were more committed to silence. Small towns like Pinehurst don't run on justice. They run on secrets and reputation. Emily meets with Uncle Mark at his garage. He wipes his hands with a towel, looking torn. Uncle Mark. Look, Craig always gave me the creeps, but your dad? He's in a tough spot. You put him between his daughter and his brother. Emily. He should have picked the truth. Uncle Mark. Truth doesn't pay for mortgages or church donations. Emily laughs bitterly. Emily. That's when it hit me. I wasn't up against denial. I was up against loyalty to the wrong people. Emily at her childhood bedroom. Half of her stuff is missing. Walls are bare.
Carol from the hallway.
I packed up some of your things. Figured you wouldn't be staying long. Emily. I'm still your daughter, Mom. Carol doesn't answer. Just walks away. Emily. That hurt more than anything. Not the town turning against me. Not Josh calling me a liar. Not even Dad's cold stares. But my mother, quietly erasing me from the house I grew up in? That nearly broke me. Emily attending a family wedding weeks later. She stands alone while people whisper. Josh gives a speech, thanking the family who stood strong through hard times, eyes briefly scanning past Emily. Emily. I didn't even know betrayal could be this quiet. No slaps. No shouting. Just absence. Just being left out of photos. Out of group texts. Out of the family. But I didn't back down. Because for the first time in my life,
I wasn't protecting them.
I was protecting the one person who never had a voice. Melissa. Emily at home in Denver. Phone rings. Caller ID. Melissa. Emily. It was 7:43 p.m. on a Tuesday when I got the call that changed everything, again. Melissa on phone, panicked. They're trying to get me to recant. Uncle Craig said, I'm ruining the family. Aunt Cheryl said she won't pay for my therapy if I don't stop talking. Emily. Wait, are they threatening you? Melissa. They're saying if I go through with the report, I'm on my own. No more college help. Nothing. Emily goes silent. She clenches her jaw. Emily. I saw red. This wasn't just about me anymore. They were still protecting him, even now. Emily driving to Pinehurst. Radio off. Fingers tight on the steering wheel. Scenes of flashbacks intercut with her driving. Emily. I didn't tell them I was coming. I didn't care. I walked into my parents' house like a soldier, marching into war. Dad was in the living room watching a game. Mom was rearranging the mantle, like nothing in the world was wrong. Thomas, Dad. You don't get to barge in here. Emily. I'm not here to ask permission. I'm here to tell you that if you try to intimidate Melissa again, I will go public with everything. Names, dates, police records.
Carol.
How dare you threaten us in our own home? Emily. Do you know what she told me, Mom? That she felt safer with strangers than with her own family. That's on you. Thomas, standing up. You're not welcome here anymore. Emily, tears rising. I was never really welcome, was I?
Silence.
Everyone frozen. Then Carol picks up her phone and walks out. Josh appears at the door, arms folded.
Josh.
You need to get out before you destroy what's left of this family. Emily. What family, Josh? The one that covers for abusers and punishes truth-tellers. Josh steps forward like he's going to yell, but doesn't. He just says quietly, "You're not my sister anymore." Emily packing a small overnight bag, shaking. Her hands tremble as she zips it closed. Voice messages begin flooding her phone. Aunt Cheryl. "This isn't your battle, Emily. Stay out of it." Uncle Craig. "You want to drag your family's name through the mud? Don't expect forgiveness." Carol. Text. "We won't be at your wedding. Please don't contact us again." Thomas. Voicemail. "Consider yourself disowned." Emily sits in her car outside. Rain starts to fall. She stares at her reflection in the mirror. Her eyes are red. She whispers to herself, "I did the right thing." Emily. "That was the night I officially lost them. Every single one. They cut me off like I was the infection. Like I was the shameful secret, not the man who harmed a child. And for weeks, I questioned myself. I replayed it all. Maybe I should have stayed quiet. Maybe I should have just been the good daughter. But then, Melissa sent me a photo." Emily opens her messages. Melissa has sent a selfie. She's smiling, holding a police report, standing in front of the courthouse. Text from Melissa. "I did it. I reported him. Thank you for not giving up on me. You're my real family, Emily." And in that moment, I knew I hadn't lost everything. I had lost the people who failed both of us. But I hadn't lost myself. And I hadn't lost her. Emily. 6 months of silence. 6 months of being erased. And now, suddenly, they needed me. Emily walking into a courthouse. Her heels echo in the hallway. She walks past Aunt Cheryl, who avoids her eyes. Josh sits in a corner, staring at the floor. Carol rushes up to her. "Carol." "Emily, please. They're saying Melissa might not testify without you." Emily stops. Looks her mother in the eyes, steady and calm. "Emily, you disowned me." Carol, desperate. "I didn't mean it. We just didn't know what to do." Emily.
No.
"You did know what to do. You just didn't do it." Thomas walks up grim-faced.
Thomas.
"This is bigger than any of us now. You want to fix this? Here's your chance." Emily, quiet but firm. "I don't need to fix anything. You do." Mediation room. A lawyer presents a family statement asking for Emily's cooperation to protect the family reputation while still helping Melissa. Emily reads it, laughs bitterly. "Emily, you want me to help you, but not too loudly. You want me to speak, but only if I filter the truth." She rips the statement in half. Emily to the lawyer. "You can record this. I stand by Melissa. I support her testimony, publicly, legally, completely. But I won't protect the people who protected her abuser." Everyone goes silent. Emily to Thomas. "You told me truth makes you weak. But you were wrong. Silence is weak. Cowardice is weak. Loyalty to monsters is weak." She opens her purse, pulls out a folded letter. She hands it to Melissa. Emily gently. "You gave me your truth when no one else would. Here's mine." Melissa reads the letter silently. Tears fill her eyes. She hugs Emily. Later that night, Emily walks out of the courthouse. Reporters gather. Flashbulbs flicker. A voice asks, "Are you Emily Walker? The one who exposed the Walker family scandal?" Emily, turning calmly. "I didn't expose a family. I exposed a crime. And I protected someone no one else would." She walks away into the crowd.
Calm.
Strong. Unshaken. Emily burns an old family photo at her cabin fireplace. Thomas, Carol, Josh, all smiling. She watches the edges curl, but Melissa's face, cut out and pinned to the mantel, remains untouched. "Emily, they wanted me to stay silent. They wanted me to carry the shame, so they didn't have to. But I chose truth. Even if it cost me my bloodline, it saved her life." Emily alone in her Denver apartment. The lights are dim. A mug of untouched tea sits beside her. She's curled on the couch, scrolling through her phone. Family group chat. "You have been removed." Emily. "You think that once you speak the truth, the hard part is over. It's not. The silence that follows. That's what breaks you." No angry messages. No calls. Just nothing. I was erased. Emily getting mail. Wedding invitation. Josh and his fiancée. She stares at the RSVP line +1 and throws it in the trash. Then, a social media post. Family reunion photo. Everyone is tagged but her. Emily.
They moved on or pretended to.
I watched my family pretend I never existed. Uncle Craig's name was never mentioned again. But the photo of him fishing with Dad from 1999? Still framed in the hallway back home. He was never erased. I was. Flashback. Emily as a child, sitting on the porch beside Thomas. He hands her a popsicle.
Thomas.
You're the strong one, Em. You see everything. Back to present. She exhales, eyes stinging. Emily. He was right. I did see everything. And now I couldn't unsee it. Emily walking into a local bookstore. The owner, Rachel, greets her. They chat. Rachel. Hey, I read your piece about family secrets last year. Powerful stuff. Emily. Thanks. It came at a cost. Rachel. Yeah, truth usually does. But there's freedom in it, too. Rachel hands her a copy of The Body Keeps the Score. Emily clutches it like something sacred. Emily. I started therapy 2 weeks later. Not just to deal with the family loss, but to finally mourn the version of myself I'd been pretending to be for 30 years. Therapist's office. Emily stares at the carpet, then speaks. Emily. I think I was addicted to their approval. I thought if I played the part, the fixer, the helper, they'd love me back. But I don't think they ever loved me. Just the role I played. Therapist softly. And now. Emily. I'm done performing. Emily walking in the park. Writing again. Volunteering at a center for abuse survivors. Melissa joins her once. They laugh over coffee. Real, warm laughter. Emily. Grief doesn't always come with a funeral. Sometimes it comes with silence. Blocked numbers. Empty seats. The echo of memories that no longer feel safe to remember. But through that silence, I found something else. My voice. Not the voice they trained. Not the version of me that bent and folded herself small to fit their world. My real voice. Emily walking past a Sunday church service. She sees her mother Carol sitting at the front pew. Their eyes meet briefly. Carol turns away. Emily doesn't flinch. She keeps walking.
Emily.
I used to pray for her forgiveness. Now I just pray for peace.
Hers. Mine.
Melissa's. Emily sitting on a rooftop with Melissa. City lights flickering. They clink 2 mugs together. Melissa. You know what saved me? Emily.
What?
Melissa.
You.
You didn't save me because you fought for me. You saved me because you believed me. Emily exhales deeply. Her eyes close. A tear falls, not from pain but from release. A sunlit morning in Denver. Emily's apartment is brighter now. Plants in the window, her desk filled with journals and books. Emily. Healing didn't arrive like lightning. It came in quiet moments. The first morning I didn't check my phone to see if they'd messaged me. The first time I laughed and didn't feel guilty. The first night I slept without dreaming of slamming doors and disapproving faces. Emily joins a support group for survivors and advocates. She listens intently as others share their truths. Then one day she speaks. Emily. My name is Emily, and I was raised to believe that silence keeps families safe. But silence doesn't protect the wounded. It protects the ones who caused the wound. The group nods. One woman wipes a tear. Another claps softly. Emily. I began speaking, not for attention but for connection. Because every time I told my story, someone else felt seen. Melissa calls. She's at her new apartment, smiling. Behind her are boxes, art supplies, and a dog wagging its tail. Melissa on video call. Guess what? I got into grad school. Social work. I want to help girls like me. Emily laughs. Of course you did. You're already doing the work. They both smile. A long, warm pause. Melissa. I couldn't have done it without you. Emily walking through a bookstore. She stops at a shelf labeled New Voices. Her memoir is there. Title: The Family They Forgot. She gently touches the cover, then walks away, smiling. Emily, writing saved me. It gave shape to the pain. It gave my grief a language. And when I turned that language into pages, it gave my pain purpose. Emily teaching a writing workshop, holding space for women to share their experiences. Coffee mugs, tissues, quiet laughter. A mural in the background reads, "Truth is the beginning of healing." Emily, I built a life from the rubble they left behind. Not alone. Never again alone. Friends who became family. Readers who became allies. And a sister who became a warrior. Thanksgiving at Emily's apartment. The table is full. Melissa, a few support group friends, her therapist, and Rachel, the bookstore owner. They laugh, share food, pass notes of gratitude around the table. Emily raising a glass. To chosen family. To survivors. To truth. Even when it hurts. Camera pans out slowly, soft music playing.